Before I start, let me tackle the issue of the day head on. If you go outside and walk along the seafront, it won't be long before you get to a petrol station that's got no fuel. Level up, you can't even fill up. And conference, doesn't that just tell you everything you need to know about this government? Ignoring the problem, blaming someone else, then coming up with a half-baked solution. Prime Minister, either get a grip or get out of the way and let us step up and clear up this mess. Conference, it's easy to comfort yourself that your opponents are bad people. I don't think Boris Johnson is a bad man. I think he's a trivial man. I think he's a showman. He's a showman with nothing left to show. He's a trickster who's performed his one trick. Once he'd said the words, "Get Brexit done," his plan ran out. There is no plan. This is a... At this time on a Wednesday, it's normally the Tories that are heckling me. Doesn't bother me then. Won't bother me now. The questions we face in Britain today are big ones. How we emerge from the biggest pandemic in a century. How we make our living in a competitive world. The climate crisis. Our relationship with Europe. The future of our union. These are big issues, but our politics is so small. These times demand a responsible leader with clear values.
Where's Peter Mandelson?
From my dad, I understand the dignity of work. From my mum, I appreciate the nobility of care. From my work, the principle that we are all equal before the law. So you see, shouting slogans or changing lives, conference. One of the urgent needs of our time is mental health. Labour will guarantee that support will be available in less than a month. Labour will make Britain a world leader in science and research and development. And we will set a target to invest a minimum of 3% of GDP. Under my leadership, Labour will be back in business. Now, let me give you an example of how this template can work. Let's take the hardest question and the biggest issue of our time. Climate change. Climate change. This is an issue of security. It's a test of justice on a global scale. Climate change poses an existential threat. It will turn fertile terrain into desert land. Conflicts will break out over scarce resources like water. Millions will be displaced by flooding, forest fires, and violent storms. Time is short, and we have a duty to act. But that obligation shouldn't daunt us. It should embolden us. Shifting the economy onto a sustainable path is full of promise for Britain. Full of promise. The SNP and the Tories walk in lockstep. They both exploit the constitutional divide for their own ends. Labour is the party that wants to bring our nations together.